For the final part of the session, we're beginning to get towards our game. So, to begin, we're going to have a 60x40, permanent goalkeepers. They won't switch with the change of which team is active and which teams aren't. And based on the numbers, we'll have two resting but rotating players. And part of the coach's job, therefore, is to make sure they get in and out as is appropriate. Okay, so following the theme of the whole session, which was attack to defence, here's how this works. So you have three different coloured teams, A, B and C, three different colours in this case. And in this case, A start things headed this way. So A head in this direction, attacking this goal against the green B team. That continues until that's over. That can be over successfully, A score, or unsuccessfully, any other outcome. When that happens, the minute it's dead, the coach indicates as such and begins a pretty loud 5-second countdown. When that countdown's over, the C team, who have been dormant and waiting on the halfway line, waiting to go in this direction, will launch their attack in the opposite direction. So, the objective of the whole session was attack to defence. So, I dribble, lose the ball. The coach shouts, dead, at which point there's 5 seconds. In that 5 seconds, I have to transition into the other half to defend against C. So, just to reiterate, I play offence. When that's dead, they transition into the other half, so there's a physical element as well, you've got to work hard to get there, and play defence. Once that's done, they'll come back to the halfway line, and they'll face into the dormant half so that when the next attack ends, they're ready to go. So, play attack, play defend, collect your ball, prep for your next one. Attack, defend, prep. Okay, there's a rotation there. That's the exercise, and I'm anticipating this taking, it's physically taxing, it's especially physically taxing, and if need be you can point this out. If each attack lasts 2 or 3 seconds, this becomes a sprinting exercise. So at some point they'll need to, for self-preservation, they'll need to take care of the ball when they're playing offence, even though it's not especially our focus. It just allows us to go for 15-ish minutes of work, as opposed to having to kind of artificially insert rest into the exercise with coaching points. There's the exercise. So lots of continuing emphasis points that have been there since, not the footwork part, but the second part of the session. Stance, patience, forcing in one direction, identifying and communicating, and angles of approach. The big one here that we're kind of making a bigger deal of is recovery runs have to be to the inside. So in this case, for example, A, as you can see, without thinking about it, I've indicated that run. In this case, that would be the wrong run. That run should be to the inside, so I'm instantly forcing play to the outside. So I'm trying to prevent players from getting inside. Same here, this one should be there to force play to the outside. And again, the identification of who's the pressure player is very important. That should be communicated, and it'll allow the other players, if that's quick enough, to then take their lead from player one and the way and the direction that player's forcing. So that should be about 15 minutes, which leads us to free scrimmage at the end. There is a 9v9 field already there, so for simplicity and because there's going to be more players, this will be 8v8, a goalkeeper 4-3. Generally with the players, we're adding the 1 to the formation, so we'd say a 1-4-3, just because we're trying to make the player a part of the flow of our play. So an 8v8 with a 4-3 formation. In our case, we play a 4-3-2-1, so that's the back end of our formation. So, the freeze points. They've worked pretty hard through the session. It's a pretty full session, so that being the case, my freeze point should be, I'm kind of acknowledging in my session plan, minimal and quick. I don't want, in the 15 minutes they've got, maybe once or twice, maybe. And if they are, get in, illustrate, get out, don't take any more than 30 seconds of their time away. Let them play a little bit, let them mentally exercise what they've worked through the session. But the couple of points I'd be looking for is any especially good or especially poor angle of approach that I can highlight. And obviously it'd be good to have, if there is a fantastic one, I can really see someone's made a a conscious effort to arc their run to take something away early, that would be great. And then the other reason I may stop them as a team and explain something and move players and show things would be if there's different disparate defensive objectives, meaning the one player is forcing in one direction and the other player is doing something nothing remotely related to that. In terms of during the scrimmage, things kind of coaching in the flow of things and pulling people aside is predominantly looking at everything else that isn't here.